고객 형님한테 게임을 져본 적이 없습니다.
잘합니다, 로이조.
와 진짜 잘하는데.
내가 처음부터 좀 있을 수
그러니까요.
있거든요.
최선의 방어는 공격이다. 핫한 그런 메타만 딱 사용하고 있는 모습이 보이죠.
그리고
엄청나게 이렇게 해서
본선 안내를 해드려야 돼요. 세 글자 대 서윤.
Welcome back to the GSL Code S. We're going to go on to our final best of three. Zest versus Keen here.
Yeah, Zest already did take out Keen once.
That's right, but you know,
it was closer than you would want to see from a two-time GSL champion, right?
That's right, and you know, Zest, he's in good form, but I think Keen is looking very strong. Keen has always been a consistent player. He had a little bit of, well, several seasons where he was not here in the GSL Code S, but he's back. He's in a way been a fixture since we've started GSL, I believe over 6 years ago. Is it 6 years or 7 years?
We've been doing GSL now, Tasteless, we're going into our 7th year. We started at the end of 2010, and it's now the beginning of 2017.
Okay. So Keen has been around for a long time. You really can't count him out. He's always been able to hold his own. Now Zest, we would normally expect, especially if it was just, you know, a year or two ago, that Zest would just smash Keen. He would smash him so hard, Keen would turn into oatmeal.
Yeah.
And nothing else would be left. But honestly, just like Keen's always done, he comes back, he trains hard. And Zest is looking, and it's weird to say, but weaker than we're ever really used to seeing.
Okay, let's look at these map bans a little bit. Okay,
sure.
Daybreak still taken out by Zest, and then Whirlwind over on the other side. Newkirk, that makes sense. Habitation, that makes sense. Okay, so Zest is still gonna have to play Vonnie, which he had a really hard time on against Bunny. But Echo, Echo, meh, I think it's a little bit good for Terran. But Overgrowth, I think that's a fine map for Zest to possibly finish this out on.
Okay.
So looking at it, I think this is a pretty good pool for these two players to go at it.
Let's see. Zest already shown some of his builds. Keen has already shown some of his style here.
Yeah, Zest has actually shown so many PBTs tonight. That's actually a good point to factor in here. But he's shown quite a range on him too. Some all-in, some quick Colossus, some quick Twilight. There's like a lot of stuff he's been doing.
The scariest kind of Protoss player to play against is the one that can do any kind of strat and be fine at it, be good at it. Because then you just don't know what you're ready for, and sometimes they'll make the right call, predict how you're going to play, counter it, maybe at least in one of the games, and then the next one, they counter your drops. Let's see. Guys, this is our final set. Zest versus Keen. The winner is the second survivor to make it to the round of 16. In the upper left, in the blue, our Protoss player. He is Zest. A lot of people are going to be shocked if he doesn't move on. And in the bottom right, in the red,
Team Leafang, Keen.
So, what you were just saying about how like it's most scary to play against Protoss that can like do the whole range and stuff like that kind of made me think for a minute.
Yeah.
Because like I always think about Zest and where I should put him on the spectrum of Protoss players.
Okay.
Because obviously we have like Protosses that are all-in Protosses and we have like macro defense. But actually what he kind of reminds me of is if you took MC and you mixed him with Rain.
I actually like what you're saying here.
MC is generally aggressive but can do everything, and Rain is generally defensive but can do everything.
Yeah.
And then Zest is kind of like, he really hits both ends. He will do any build. He will do any strategy against you. It's kind of a weird way to say it. Like I think it's a cleaner way to just be like, this guy is really a complete package. Like, he does everything. But
well, because I think it's, you look at Rain, right, and obviously no top-tier StarCraft player is going to go without doing something tricky at some point in time in a tournament.
Yeah.
Right? You're really not going to. Otherwise, you end up in a position kind of like Hydra did long ago, where it's like, well, this guy, he will never ever cheese, so he's just a little bit too predictable, right?
Yeah.
But you end up with somebody like MC. He was, you're right. He was generally historically a little bit more aggressive. But with Zest, I think the scary factor is that a lot of times you just don't know.
Absolutely the case.
Especially on certain maps. He doesn't necessarily cheese on the most obvious maps all the time.
The fact that he will go proxy Oracle into Void Ray 3-gate bust on one of the better macro maps, right?
Yeah, only because you wouldn't expect it coming, because you expect for Protoss to reap the benefits of the comfortable position they can be in when you get into about mid-game there. But yeah, I mean, that's a mind game in of itself, right?
Totally the case. By the way, it looks here like Keen is going to be doing the double medevac stim timing, which, like, you absolutely can do against Protoss. I don't think it's the best build against Protoss, but it can catch Protoss off guard a little bit. It's not like as common as things like Widowmine drops. It gives you a little bit of extra muscle, and if you're beyond, it can kill some of the best Protosses in the world straight up. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that this is his choice for the map. Wasn't really expecting it with how hard a time Zess has had defending against Widowmines here.
Yeah, it's a cool choice. We have the War Prism coming out here now. Is this Reaper going to get in? It should not, but it should have seen the Robo.
Yeah, definitely saw that Robo. Didn't see the Twilight, though, for sure.
Yep, you were 100% right, Artosis. So, sees the Robo. Now, seeing the Robo alone, it still keeps a degree of ambiguity, and he's getting a Dark Shrine.
That pylon is so well placed, by the way. I'm going to be putting my pylon there tomorrow.
The one he triggered there? Yeah, that's...
Dear Protosses, if you hit a barcode, that's me with that pylon right there.
That's right.
No, that's really well placed, though. And he's going for DT drop. This is really cool.
Well, it's like we were saying. He just has all the Protoss builds. And he also not only has the builds, he has the transitions, whether the strat succeeds or fails. He just has the right follow-ups, generally. The game has been evolving. The game has been changing a little bit, and it seems like there was a period where Zest was eons ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the crazy and fun thing about StarCraft is that everybody just keeps getting smarter and more powerful. I mean, this is like the Dragon Ball Z esport.
Yeah, it really is. That's a good way to put it.
People keep training.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's madness. That's crazy. By the way, one real quick thing I want to point out is that in round of 32, GSL 2016 Season 1, which was about a year ago to the day, Zest did DT drops a lot. So
okay, he's in.
Kind of weird, but anyways, yeah,
3
this
DTs,
is pretty
goodbye
big.
turret.
Oh my God. He could force a lift on this command center if he wanted.
He didn't split them immediately, which is pretty smart. He had enough that he could just fight head on. Now the War Prism's under attack here.
Yeah, as long as he keeps everything spread, this is like so good. Look at this. Oh my God.
Is he not going to drop that one DT out?
Well, I hope he is.
I'm a little bit worried. Wait. Okay, there's a Widowmine over here.
Come on, get DT Blink. I'm waiting for it. Oh, regular Blink.
So he heads back home here with that one DT and the bruised shuttle.
Okay, 3 SCVs, 6 Marines killed, several scans used, lost mining time. I would say that was like good enough.
Yeah.
Because now he has this DT tech, which is really cool. He's on Twilight. He's going into Immortal, which is really, really good. If you do DT drops, you need to follow up with Immortal to give more buff to your army, more buffness, like more power.
Yeah, you need some more meat.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as he holds on against his first drop, he should be really good.
This is so funny. He's going to run right past that. Oh, no. Erring on the side of caution. Now, he, of course, doesn't know that there's a drop leaving, so he's assuming there's tons of Marines over there.
Really well-placed missile turret by Keen as well, making Zest really think twice about trying to sneak in.
Third base does seem a bit naked here.
Yeah, he might actually just
lose
it to this.
Yeah.
That is a possibility. Okay, the Stalkers do get pulled back, and he actually has a really healthy amount of Stalkers. Blink is just barely not done.
Looks like the Sentry may go down. Immortal coming over here. The Stalkers are actually now able to hit this Liberator. Liberator really not getting some good exchanges there.
No.
Again, as Artosis was saying, Blink is almost done. If he can get under those medevacs.
That's a really big deal. I mean, it looks like he's going to be just about out of there, but right now Zest is in quite good shape. Like, that was a good enough deflection after the damage he did with the DT drop.
We have a rotation now headed northbound. Or no, a split, actually. The full medevac is going to go north, but it seems like Zest is actually interested in coming in here and smashing this this expansion.
Yeah, he might be able to do a lot of damage as well. Only 3 Marauders there. He has a couple Widow Mines, but as long as he actually snipes them off.
Oh, man, that was a bit of a misclick there. He probably should have gone ahead and hit the other base, or other pylon, rather.
Yeah, a little bit slow by Zest.
Yeah. The idea was there. Okay, he does get the medevac, so now it's just a matter of how many more units he can warp in. He's actually able to hit the mines, by the way, which is problematic because...
Ooh, gets the upgrade.
And is he actually... no, he's not going to supply block him, but these depots are going to be gone. Now, there's a second Immortal up here, and he does micro into the warp prism.
So well done. Some more mines coming up, and he blinks beyond them.
I don't believe he has the observer here, does he? There's no observer, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
GG! Zest wins game number 1.
All right, very well executed game there by Zest. A couple things going wrong for Keen, like he jumps up Zest, building placement too good to let the Reapers see the Twilight, and then the scan, just barely missing that Dark Shrine, but that was planned by Zest. He made his building placements in such a way that he maximized the chance that Keen would miss his tech with the scan. So, I mean, very well done by Zest, and also a little bit of sadness there for Keen, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, you know, dropping is a double-edged sword, and it's not just if you lose the dropship. It's also, or medevac, excuse me. We've been doing ASL as well, guys. It's not just if you lose the medevacs. The fact of the matter is that Terran did not have very much back at home.
Yeah.
And Stalkers and Immortals, they have, I want to say, a range advantage.
Yeah.
But well, I guess you could, I guess you could just say a range advantage. They don't suffer from the same symptoms that, you know, any kind of melee army has against Widow Mines, where once you engage, you know that you've committed yourself to a certain amount of damage when you don't have full vision of what's behind that army. You go and you take a big blow, and Terran has more, everything dies.
Yeah.
From there, he can actually play a very conservative game, edging in, takes out the upgrades, that's it. Keen can't make any more mistakes, or he is out of the GSL Codex. In the bottom center, in the blue.
Zest.
Zesty. See if he goes for a quick warp prism again this time.
Yeah, definitely.
Fared well for him. In the north, in the red.
Team Lifang, Keen.
Now this is the map that Zest had a hard time on against Bunny. It definitely can be very difficult. Will he go for Twilight again? I wouldn't be surprised if he mixes it up a little bit. You know, maybe we'll see him go for something like a Stargate instead, or I don't know if I really like the Colossus type play here, the Colossus rush, because it's just so hard to split your army correctly.
Well, and Colossus also, it feels like every time you leave your base, Terran should be able to counter, drop in there.
Yeah.
I mean, basically every time.
Well, we'll see where he wants to go with it. This probe trying to make itself as much of a nuisance as possible while he expands. Tassels is so good.
Life is good.
To be back in GSL Codes.
I know. I get to see you from time to time, not as much as when we're doing Codes together.
Yeah.
Felt weird how long we had off.
Yeah, well, thank God we had ASL as well in there.
By the way, let's plug ASL for a second. A lot of people that are watching probably don't know this, but we have a second tournament here at Africa TV, and it's the ASL, and we're doing Brood War. That's StarCraft 1.
Yeah.
So you can now get all the StarCraft at our network.
Yeah, and it's there's a bunch of retired StarCraft 2 pros in there.
Yeah.
Like Flash and Jadon. and Rain and Sulky, actually.
That's true.
I mean, quite a few, and it's a fantastic tournament as well. And if you like StarCraft 2, believe me, just watch a little bit and you'll like StarCraft 1 as well. Like, if you like StarCraft 2, you like RTS games.
Yeah, if you like StarCraft 1, you like RTS games.
Yeah.
These are the two greatest RTS games of all time by far.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find an RTS game I don't want to watch. You would be hard-pressed
I love RTS in general.
Yeah. It's the best type of video game. You get to build little cities and armies and make money, and it's like so cool, man. It's like you're God.
It's basically the rarest of esport materia.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you level that one up? Let's go through an hour-long tutorial.
Come with me. I'll show you what materia really is. See these slots on your sword? They're remaking that game, aren't they?
Yeah, they already did, right? You're talking about Final Fantasy 6?
7.
Whatever it is.
7. What do you mean whatever it
I
is?
don't know
You
the
know how
names.
many people are angry at you right now? You're like, whatever one it is. I don't know.
Dude, I don't care. All I need to know is this is StarCraft 2 and Brood War is StarCraft 1.
I think they are remaking that game, though.
Yeah, they did already. It's already out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
I saw people like tweeting about it and stuff.
People are going to be tweeting us no matter what after what you said. So we have the Twilight Council coming up here. And again, this is another War Prism. Do we have the Dark Shrine?
That's wow, another DT
Okay,
drop.
so
That's funny.
You might be asking yourself, why the hell would anybody do this twice in a row? Well, because at this level of play, you're not really supposed to. So bear with me. Because you're not really supposed to, this becomes... Okay, he saw it.
Oh, sick is juking and jiving. Like, he jumped up like he was going to get hit by the left one, juked right. Zest caught him, but he juked right back left again. That was like some sick mind games on how he moved the Reaper, and now he has so much intel, Zest has to cancel.
Dude, yeah, but he cancels, but his opponent doesn't know that he canceled.
Wow, I'm surprised the Reaver didn't somehow dodge that shot, get into the main base, scout that, and kill 2 probes.
Well, this is pretty interesting because he spotted it.
Yeah.
But Protoss can cancel. It's one of the strongest things you can do in StarCraft sometimes is to cancel attack and just go to something else. Okay, but now he sees.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great scout right there with this, and this is some great pressure because his 2 gateways are very late. He was going so tech heavy. Ooh, that's some good micro right there.
Yeah, he's actually doing a great job. Is he going to get this, though? He gets 6 probes. So not bad at all, especially for this phase of the game. We don't have a ton of workers out yet. That does give Terran not a lead yet with workers, but a lead in economics because he has mules still.
And, you know, this is a little bit of a tough position here for Zest. His original plan not working out. I'm very interested to see where he goes from here. Like, is he going to try to rush to Colossus Tech? I don't think so. I think we'll see a double forge coming up, but let's see. Because, like, he's already kind of committed into this Twilight route. He's going into his 3rd base. He's kind again, this map is just a little bit difficult.
Oh, that's a good find there for Zest. Definitely keep your eyes peeled on that, if he can get it, of course.
Yeah, pick off on a couple Widow Mines would actually be a pretty big deal. Siege tanks are on the way. Okay, an Immortal being added, I do like that. Wouldn't mind if it goes into charge or something. Just like this Siege tank push is going to be the bane of him. That's what I'm afraid about for Zest right now.
Now, there's a Liberator coming on the bottom right, and it looks like it will also be able to come over here. Now, he wants to trigger the Liberation Zone, but Keen does not bite the bait. Keen goes all the way around, and he can park that down there for as long as he wants until Protoss gets something that can actually fight it.
Well, this Widow Mine drop, he's trying to time these out well together. Okay, it looks like he's going to come up here. Ooh, this is a cool move. Is he going to convene?
Yeah, he's going to merge,
Yeah.
Oh, my God. No, it's synchronized swimming of Harass.
Yeah, this is kind of wild. Does drop the 2 Widow Mines into the main base. Good splits there by Zest. Very much on top of that one.
Push is inbound.
Oh, and the Liberator, maybe it's going over to the side to actually help out the Marines in the tank. Oh, but this is a 6 snipe on that Siege tank. Very well done.
And he can kite this for days.
Yeah.
There's no medevac over here.
Exactly.
He's going to win the fight. Look at that.
Very good defense by Zest here.
He's warping in some more Stalkers. He's just not taking any unnecessary damage. And Terran lost all those Marines. In fact, we could have a counterattack even for Protoss.
Yeah, this is really bad for Keen. Like, everything went wrong there. Even after, like, he did some great scouting. He followed up. I thought that this was a good idea, what he was going for here. But maybe he should have gone around the other side. Because when your tank isn't in siege mode, it's much, much worse. Like, that's not how you want to... The fact that Zest had made that Immortal and was out there, that was really helpful as well.
Okay, Zest is handling this so well. So he's basically outmaneuvered Keen throughout the map, shut down every play that Keen has, and Zest is getting bigger and bigger and bigger at this point in time.
Going up for that Colossus tech as well. Keen, you know, he's still in it for sure, making some Liberators, continuing to macro up, getting some upgrades. No upgrades yet for Zest, so he is quite a bit behind in that department. But he could be going for like a... Okay, he is adding the forges. I was going to say, if he doesn't add those soon, that would have had to be like a big attack he was going for.
He'd have to go for some kind of timing and hope he could end it right away.
You can't let your opponent be like getting 4 upgrades against you. It doesn't even matter. Like Marines take out Colossus in that world.
Yeah. But a really good job here by Zest, especially with these engages. In a position where we actually thought Keen might really be able to smash Zest. Zest has actually stabilized pretty well. War Prism has been spotted here by the Viking. He'll try to get as many shots in as he can before Stalkers could blink under that Viking.
Forge is going to finish up. Colossus are on the way. Zest not able to really harass right now, but that's okay. He's got the watchtower. He's got pretty decent vision of the map right now. But Keen is going to get active. And that's still going to be a little bit hard for Zest to cover everywhere he needs to. He is behind on supply. This is a very normal thing. That doesn't necessarily mean that Keen is ahead. At this point in the game, like as you're taking that third base, as you're getting your upgrades, you're getting your tech splash units for Protoss, Terran does get ahead in that way, but you got to really be careful about your unit positioning, especially on this map as Zest.
It's also important to note the fundamental burden of, oh my god, he's going around him. Hold on, I'll talk about this in a second. Okay, he's going to blink away. Don't forget the fundamental burden that Protoss face against Terran on this map is drops into the main are huge and really easy to do.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention, Tasteless.
Yes.
He is actually going for Liberator range very, very early.
Yeah.
Now, Liberator range is extremely strong.
Oh my god.
But it's generally like a very good late game upgrade. When you get it this early, you can kind of like, there's a lot of maneuvering Protoss can do. You know, like a lot of the time you just want to make sure you're taking out their splash damage. That's not what this does. This is like more about making entrenched positions and things that are hard for Protoss to attack into. But at this stage of the game, like Protoss can run around a bit more. So very interesting plays here by Keen.
Yeah. Keen also really setting up safe to keep building in this game here. You can see that after the initial few skirmishes, they both backed off quite a bit. A lot of respect being shown here. I mean, there's so much on the line right now. It could really just come down to one or two blunders in this one game, right? You're just running around a little bit too much. Map control so far is going to Keen, but he hasn't really dove in and tried to attack in just yet, minus a few Liberators and things like that we found.
Well, if Keen is in a defensive posture, like there's no way that Zest is going to be able to break him against ranged Liberators. So, like, I don't think Zest can really kill him. It's when Keen starts moving around a little bit more that maybe Zest can outmaneuver. You know, like his army is super mobile compared to what Keen is building right now in some ways because it's so Liberator based.
Yeah. One other thing that's kind of just funny about the way the oh, nice catch. One thing that's funny about the way the Colossus was designed, you kind of think about it like it should be really mobile because it can walk up and down high ground, but actually it's really not. It's actually a pretty slow unit. And one of the ways to take on these slow units, especially ones with splash, is to just engage wherever they're not and start chipping away your opponent.
Yeah.
And on this map especially, that's a theme we see a lot in Terran versus Protoss.
Very much so. Stargate on the way.
Whoa.
Good moves.
Whoa.
He doesn't want to waste time with those Widow Mines. Okay, that is a lot of charged Zealots. He is moving in right now.
All right, he's going to commit. Liberators are already in position. Guardian Shield activated.
Oh boy, starting to move up, and no Guardian Shield on the Zealots though, so they are going to take a beating here as he tries to bust his way through. And this is a huge concave right now, a huge arc by Keen, and of course Zest has to back up.
Meanwhile, Liberators set up back there to try to deny some mining. Still though, 3 Colossi in the back, but again, that arc was just too sick. The 1 Colossus is still remaining, but pretty soon it's going to be only Stalkers. No, it's only going to be the Colossus remaining.
You know, it is a little bit crazy that Zest tried that, I have to say. Like,
I think it was a bit needless as well.
Yeah, well, the thing is, ranged Liberators started hitting him, so he's like, okay, if you have ranged Liberators, you don't have a whole lot at home.
Yeah.
I have a strong army, and he's technically right, but like Colossus has to fight heads up. You cannot walk into an area. We saw him get surrounded earlier going up into the third base on Echo. This is the same type of thing. There's too much surface area, and then the Colossus is terrible.
Yeah. And it just the spacing the Terran army had, the Colossi are just shooting like one little corner of that, while the Zealots died so fast. No Guardian Shield on that.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
They were funneling up. There was like really good building placement for Keen to pull back into with all his ranged bio. The Zealots were getting 0 value there. So I mean, that is what a big moment for Keen in this game.
And he can actually get these liberation zones to the point where the Stalkers just can't even help.
Yeah.
They can't do anything really.
Like he can't even come close to engaging his army, especially after how much he just lost. Like right now, we actually have to watch Zest run around and counterattack.
I don't even know if he can.
Yeah, no, it's so tough after losing that army.
Okay, he's trying to come over here. Is he going to go try to do a base raid or a flank? It looks like a flank here.
Yeah, does look like the flank is the choice here. The Liberator is actually kind of way out in front, which is funny.
Yeah, but I think it's fine. That's it, GG. We're going to go to the last game now. We're tied up 1-1, folks.
Wow, Zest had a really, like, an unbelievably good opening after slaughtering the Siege Tank push. He was in a good spot. And then Keen, he took a little bit of a risk. That was a very quick Liberator range. It's just the attack in by Zest was very, very poor. You can't let someone have, like, that arc was like, that was 180-degree arc. That's crazy against a Colossus ball.
Well,
the only 181 through 360 is bigger than 180. So
you
like,
don't normally get 360 degrees.
No.
Of an attack.
I guess there could be a spherical one if you're dropping on it and unburrowing under it. But that would be a PVZ. So
yeah. Guys, Zest may be knocked out. Keen may move on in a huge upset. So much pressure on Keen right now. It's 2017. Everybody's having a fresh start. Zest can be taken out.
New year, new Keen.
That's right. We're loading up our final match. It's going to be on the map Overgrowth.
Okay.
Zest has done some crazy stuff on this map.
Yeah, he did.
He
earlier.
just marched to his own beat. Can Keen overcome this GSL Codes champion? Let's find out. All right. In the upper right, in the blue.
Zest.
His opponent, the red Terran in the bottom left.
Team Lifang, Keen.
Okay. Now I don't know what Zest's plan will be here. He did do an all-in last game on this map against Keen.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be that again because Keen is going to be more vigilant towards that, remembering that having happened.
Let's also point out, because it's easy to forget that in like game number 2, for instance, what Zest intended to do versus what he was forced into doing. He actually wanted to do the same DT drop again.
Yes.
Because it was unpredictable. But Keen, just being overall solid in his movement, actually managed to get the Reaper in there, scout that, and then Zest had to do, I guess you could call it like plan B. Try to, hammer together something deceptive, try to throw his opponent off so he canceled the Dark Shrine. And then really, Keen just had some good harass. Zest had a really bad engage at the end, and it's over. So let's see how Zest opens this time around, and if he gets to continue to do what he wanted to do, or if that'll be interrupted, whether that's by Keen's force or intel.
Yeah, and Zest here actually has gone for a very quick Nexus, but foregone scouting. So this is a little bit of a greedy play. If Keen was doing a, like, let's say he was going for, like, proxy factory cyclone or something, he just gets a win here. But
yeah,
Zest is counting on him playing a more normal game, so Zest actually gets to take a small advantage by playing this kind of greedy opener.
Well, a complete shift in gears here from Keen, or rather Zest, excuse me. Keen just kind of poking in. I think this is a good way to play a lot of Terran versus Protoss, is just to try to get really good at scouting and feeling out where their army is, and then just having proper engages. But that's usually the biggest difference between somebody who's Codes worthy and somebody who's just really high ranked in StarCraft. Is sometimes their engages work, other times they don't, and they're not able to learn and master that.
Yeah.
Especially for Terran and TVP, it's so much about
picking your fights.
And then also knowing when to run away.
It really is so much about that because of how mobile you are and how you have to kind of pick them apart over time. Like, that's what it's all about. You have to, like, for actual army engagements in, like, a really well-played TVP, you don't want to have that many. It's like the one, you're going to take them as soon as Protoss starts getting out of position because they're, like, over-defending against your harass or something like that. And, I mean, if you're able to do that, you are a top-tier Terran for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, this is looking like it's going to be a rush into Colossus probably from Zest, which I think is probably a very good choice for him here, right? Because this is, like I was talking about, like a very good macro map. So if he just makes sure he takes no damage early on, which you can do with a build like this, no matter what they send at you, you can block, then he can get into that macro game, right? And that, like this game, if this goes like really big macro, how do you? It's so hard to kill a Protoss here.
This is all par for the course, by the way, with Terran moving out now. And, of course, it's going to be up to the instincts of Zest. Where does he position this? Does he know what is the most desirable location and how to attack into that? And does Keen know that and then maybe play around that? And it's a lot of, you trying to be one step ahead of your opponent. Looks like the Reaper should go down. Meanwhile, the drop commences over here at the natural.
Yeah, look at that. He kind of flies by a little bit here. Gets the Widow Mine. Very good defense by Zest. It's kind of interesting the way that Zest did that. He didn't have full vision of the right-hand side, so if the medevac had gone up that way, he would have had to pull all his probes. He had everything at the natural, but he's taking like a few very calculated small risks this game so far, and it's really paying off. Like, he's in quite good shape. He's taken no damage. He's gotten a very fast expand. He's going right into the tech that he wants.
He's also got the observers in the right spot where as long as he is fast enough, he should be able to react in time to respond and basically nullify any possible damage that was incoming.
Very much so. Good scouting as well. He's going to check out for any additional bases. Meanwhile, Keen just kind of staying the course, getting his upgrades flowing.
Now notice the respect Keen gave. The moment he lost that Widow Mine, he just backed off. He goes, okay, I'm not playing this game anymore. I am getting back home. And I am not going to let you get a lead due to my greed and aggression.
Yeah. And Zest is playing quite well against Keen as well. In this way, like, he got the Widow Mine. He's like, okay, you're having to back off so I can take a third base while going Colossus. And that gets him more into this macro mode.
Okay, the Adept is now going to get cornered here. Taken out. Just a few units shaved off here and there. Now, Keen does take his third base up here at the top. And Zest takes his third base. And Keen's been pretty, I think, logically passive for a lot of this.
Keen is actually, this is really interesting. Keen is gearing up for a 2-base all-in.
Yep.
He's hiding 2 barracks behind his natural, and he's already starting Vikings on 1 starport on 2 base. This is, like, highly unorthodox, but what he's playing against, like, when Zest does this, normally he goes into double forge. It looks like I don't know if it's double forge, but he's getting a much quicker Twilight than he normally does with this. So
we saw a ton of gates coming up here, but this is smart because where the observers are positioned, they're looking for drops.
Yeah.
And they're looking to see when the army's going to come out because Terrans overall are just always trying to outmaneuver the other player. But in this case, Keen's going to shift gears and try to outmuscle Zest.
Yeah, and he might be able to. This was actually like after how this game opened and how Zest decided to play strategically, I think that Keen made a great decision here to go with this strategy. This makes, like, I'm getting chills. This makes so much sense that he's trying this. I think he's looking and saying, oh, you're getting into a macro game that you're going to be very comfortable in. As soon as Zest has all his tools, when he has 2 Twilight upgrades and he has 2, like, upgrades on Forges, 3 Colossus, that type of stuff, how are you ever going to kill one Overgrowth? So I love this. This is a great move.
So this is a window timing attack. He has to do a lot of damage at a very specific point in the game. We're about to see exactly what that point is here from Keen.
We're going to see as well if he's going to pull the boys.
Or from Zest, excuse me. I keep doing that.
Because the boys definitely could get pulled with this as well. I'm almost you notice Shine keeps checking. He's like, this looks like something you would pull the boys with. I'm actually surprised he's not. If you're all in, you're all in. Do it.
Well, he didn't do it. Not yet. We'll see if this was a mistake or not. He's splitting, stimming. The Colossi still in the game. Widow Mine hits are connecting. 1 Colossus goes down, 2 now.
God.
The 3rd under fire. Only the squishy Stalkers here to try to get in the way.
Yeah, he doesn't have Blink yet. Don't forget. A Time Warp going down. Actually, quite a nice Time Warp indeed. Some scans going off to pick off. Look at how many observers. He just used the all-army key. He's going to lose all of his detection.
He's trying to use everything he can to get back over here. This Liberator's in a very good zone.
Dude, he has no detection right now.
Yeah. And there's no way you get to this Liberator and that. In fact, even if he were to scan, he could kill off an Observer, but it's not even there.
Oh, my God.
I think Keen just won this game, guys.
I think you're right.
Combat Shields finishing up. Are you kidding me? Liberation Zone about to get set up. The Widow Mines come forward.
This is absolutely brutal. Keen making a brilliant call strategically this game. Zest finally with Blink. Blink's over. He's picking off Liberators, but he's got nothing left.
Keep the boys at home. No need to bring them out of your base. GG!
Wow.
Keen has won and defeated Zest in a huge upset.
And look at Keen. The amount of adrenaline in his system right now is real. That's crazy. This is a great result for Keen. And you know what? I have sick chills right now. As much as I love Zest and respect Zest's play, the choice, the call that Keen made to go for this strategy was awesome.
Well, you know what?
That was an awesome call.
He really did what Zest had been pretty effectively doing throughout all of today, was picking a build that was just a little bit unexpected to try to get a lead. And it's almost as if Zest just assumed that Keen wasn't going to, mix it up, that he was in fact more of a robot than he was a pro gamer in StarCraft.
I mean, Zest took 2-3 very small, very calculated risks to get an edge. He had that edge. Keen saw it. Keen went 2-base all in. I love it. That was, wow. That's like a highlight for me right there. That was a very smart play by Keen.
Well, we're going to go to that interview with Keen and see how he's feeling now that he's managed to beat, a mammoth player like Zest.
오늘 2년의 연속입니다. 두 번째 16강 진출자 황규석 선수.
Today is the day of upsets. Our second player to advance is Keen. Congratulations, he says thank
경기
you.
끝나고 엎드리시더라고요. 무슨 생각하셨어요?
How do you feel?
너무 오랜만이라 16강 진출이 아마 제가 진출 확률이 20%.
Gosh, it's been a long time since I advanced to a round of
너무
16.
오랜만에 느껴보는 승리의 기쁨이라
네.
엄청 좋았어요.
정말 좋으실 것 같아요.
Feeling a victory.
오랜만이었는데
I haven't felt this way in a long time.
이병렬 선수부터 주성수 선수입니다. 이런 선수들과 오늘 경기를 끝낸
You defeated Rogue and Zest.
들어볼 수 있을까요?
이병렬 선수랑
Are you proud of your play tonight?
무난하게 하면은 제가 무조건 지겠구나 생각해서
네.
2세트는 준비했던 빌드고요. 3세트는 좀 심리전을 걸었는데
네.
심리전으로 제가 이겨서
If I just went for a standard game, I thought I was going to lose to those players. So I prepared some snipe builds to take them out.
좀 끌고 가면 괜찮겠구나라는
And the builds that really worked out well for me were those
생각보다 좀
strats
침착하게
builds.
했던 것 같아요.
네, 다른 경기를 봤던 게 많은 도움이 됐던 것 같아요. 사실 첫 경기도 잘 하셨는데
He says he was also able to play a patient game, even on stage, even though there were so many people here and he was so nervous.
최종전에서는 달라진 모습이었습니다. 첫 경기부터 얘기를 해볼게요. 일단 노림수는 처음에는 아주 좋게 시작을 했었잖아요. 가장 아쉬운 점, 첫 경기에서
Let's talk about the
뭐가
first
어떤
set, the final
세트가
match.
아쉬우셨어요?
What went wrong?
주성 선수전 말씀하시는 거죠?
네,
최종전.
처음 만났을 때.
처음
네.
만났을 때. 제가 게이머로 오래 하면서 딱
네.
세팅했을 때 오늘의 감을 좀 많이 느끼거든요.
네.
근데 오늘 경기장 올 때도 그렇고
Since I've been a pro gamer for a long time,
되게 재밌겠다라는 생각이 들더라고요.
I know my condition when I'm about to go into my first
잘
game.
풀겠거니 했더니 네,
And
결과적으로
honestly, I had a really good feeling before I started
첫
playing today.
경기에서 저는 3세트가 가장 재밌었던 것
that carried me all the way through the night.
헤비테이션 스테이션에서 경기를 했었는데 사실 정찰로 상대의 의도를 다 갚아하고 유리하게 풀어갈 수 있었거든요. 근데 그걸 상대가 기지를 발휘해서 앞마당에서 지뢰를 제거를 했어요. 그 순간 이후로 좀 아쉬웠다거나 이렇게 할 걸 이렇게 생각했던 건 없었는지.
네, 지뢰를 좀 수비적으로 했었어야 되는데
Habitation Station, it seems like you lost a lot of your mines.
도박수를
And eventually lost to your opponent. Tell us about
네,
that.
너무 욕심부렸더라고요.
네.
그래서
Yeah, I regret that.
그거는 실력으로
I
진게
had to use
아니다. 인정
the
안 한다.
mines as more of a defensive unit. I think I was actually just too aggressive
아, 그건 실력으로
that
진게
game.
아니다.
And
인정 안
ended up
한다.
overextending and
이런
lost too many mines, and that
느낌이었어요.
cost me the
네,
game.
그거는 너무 처음에
네.
다 끝난 경기였어서 그거는 제 욕심 때문에 졌다라고 생각을 가졌어요.
네. 사실 그렇게 해서 좀 돌아오게 됐습니다. 최종전에 다시 오게 됐고 그래도 다행히 이렇게 진출하게 됐는데 마지막 세트 할 때는 좀 긴장감이 느껴지기도 했어요. 일단 안정적으로 출발했는데 자날
final set
경기를
of the
보고
final
있는
game.
것 같다 하는 반응도 많았거든요. 어떠셨어요?
요즘
A lot of people said
선수들이 거신을 빨리 가서
네.
It was like
네.
looking at the Wings of Liberty
좀
game.
노릴 만한 수였고요.
What are your thoughts?
그리고
was. It really
Yeah, it
was.
was.
마당에다 투배럭을 짓고 터렛을 지으면 토스들이 항상 못 보더라고요.
아 그래요.
좀 준비됐던 빌드였는데 방패 실수를 하는 바람에 좀 지나 싶었는데
아찔.
밀더라고요.
I was able to hide my
그때 그
builds and
실수는
or sorry, rather hide my barracks long enough to trick the Protoss player, thinking I had less than I actually did.
자 이제 조지명식 또 오랜만에 그런 참여를 하시게 됐어요. 조지명식
Now you're in the
앞두고
group
선수들에게
selection after a long
한마디
time.
멋지게 해보자면
Any comments to the other players?
뭐 오랜만에 경기 올라왔는데 또
네.
조지명 씨까지 하게 돼서 기분 좋고요. 네.
네.
일단 또
First of all, I'm very satisfied that I'm actually in the group selection for this season of
누구랑 해도
Codex.
뭐 재미있는 경기만 하면 되니까.
I feel that I can defeat anybody right now, to be honest.
팀들이 다 사라지면서
I just want to play some fun, awesome, interesting games.
우승자
네.
선수들도 좀 예전 기량이 안 나는 느낌이 나서
네.
누구랑 해도 상관없을 것 같아요.
A lot of teams have disbanded
저한테
right now.
말씀하시는 거예요?
So I feel like the playing ground is pretty even. I think anybody can become the champion.
이 말을 그럼 조진혁 씨 때 기대를 해보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 이렇게 이번의 주인공 황규석 선수 만나봤는데요. 다시 한번 축하드립니다.
고맙습니다.
네. 자, 이렇게
Alright.
오늘 개막전
Alright.
두 번째
Two Terrans
승자와
do
earned it
이야기를
tonight.
나눠봤습니다.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, PVT, Zest is having a little bit of a hard time. I think he did play some very good, very clean series, and I think he was playing very well that game, but Keen tricked him out a little bit. Zest didn't pick up on the cues quite quickly enough, and that was that. Like, I think that, like, with the mind games that Keen played in that last game, you know, what can I say? That was great. That was great.
He did a really good job.
Doesn't matter what race you play, you got to respect someone who's taking those risks, you know, making these moves like hiding the barracks behind, and then already starting the Vikings like, I'm going all in. That's it. We're just trying this. If Zest catches onto that for 1 second, it doesn't work.
It's so smart because you could see Zest was never even factoring that in. He had no observers even poking in to the base to see what was going on after a little bit.
Yeah.
He's just ready basically for drops to come in, for Widow Mines to come in, but they weren't. There was a little bit of a hint that Keen was up to something. He stayed back, he turtled up, and when that push came out, there was just nothing that Zest could do about it.
Yeah, and once he lost the adept that was scouting the third base, I don't think he actually sent anything back to reconfirm that there was a command
I know
center
that
on the
there was
way.
an observer outside of the second that was shot down, but I don't think it was made abundantly clear that was a timing attack ever.
Yeah.
Until the units
super
actually
late.
got to Zest base, and then it was
Zest,
too late.
Yeah, he started to fight, and like as soon as he lost like his front line, the Colossus were going to die, and that's the end. Like you have to have those Colossus. Like all of his other upgrades were way too late. His gateway units had no force with them. So, wow, this was a good night of StarCraft.
It's good to be back, guys.
Yeah.
We are loving doing Codes. Group B, that's going to be Saturday.
Yes, don't forget, guys, it's completely
It's going to be
different
a totally
time.
different time.
And this is going to be every Saturday. We're going to have a time that's friendly to NA, and of course, our weekday cast is always friendly to EU.
That's right.
So there you have it.
You got the weekend. There's really no excuse for missing this. And yeah, that's going to be 1 p.m. for us over here in Korea. So if you want to come down to the studio,
Yeah, that's like 5.5 hours earlier than normal.
that's right.
And the bunker will be a half hour before that, so check
That's
that
right.
out as well. But yeah, Hero, Nightmare, Maru, Gumiho, definitely a loaded group right there. Gumiho in top form at the moment. Nightmare, an up-and-coming Protoss player. Be interesting to see what he does in his first GSL.
That's right.
If anything.
And don't forget to check out ASL. When is our next ASL? Is that
ASL would be Sunday.
Okay.
So that'll be the day after GSL.
So definitely check out ASL as well. Watch some StarCraft 1 while you're still watching StarCraft 2. And congratulations to our players. It's good to be back with you, Artosis.
Indeed, Tasteless. Code S is where it's at.
That's right. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again at the next Code S on Saturday. For now, we love you guys. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.